You're listening to AI PRISM from Seoul Economic Daily.
Seoul just put a price tag on its AI ambitions, and it's not small. The government and private sector are committing 20 trillion won, roughly 14 billion US dollars, to manufacturing AI through 2030. 5 new regulatory Sandbox approvals just cleared the way for autonomous inspection robots and shared energy storage trading. And one bootstrapped pet health startup just proved a 25-person team can hit double-digit operating margins without burning cash for growth. It's Tuesday, June 30. Let's look at what this means for startups and entrepreneurs in Korea.
Yeah, to really understand what this means for you, we have to look at this massive pivot Korea's making. For years, the focus was entirely on software-only models.
Right, like the chatbots and all that.
Exactly. But now they're shifting hard into the physical world. They're trying to embed AI directly into semiconductors, auto manufacturing, and shipbuilding.
Which makes total sense, right? Because those are the export-heavy industries that actually anchor the Korean economy.
Yeah, absolutely. And the government commitment is just wild. They're aiming for that 20 trillion won, or 14 billion US dollars, to ultimately generate 100 trillion won.
Oh, wow.
Right, that's about 70 billion US dollars in added value. And it's all tied to this massive 150 trillion won, 107 billion US dollar national growth fund. But to make that work, they need to cut the red tape.
Oh, right, which is where those 5 new Sandbox exemptions come in. It basically gives startups a hall pass to test things like autonomous inspection robots right now instead of, waiting for outdated manufacturing laws to catch up.
Yeah, exactly. But there is a crazy contrast happening right now between these agile startups and the big tech giants.
Oh, for sure. Like, look at EFIL. They are a pet health startup, and they generated 8.3 billion won, so about 6 million US dollars in revenue.
With just 25 people, right?
Yeah. Exactly, just 25 people. And they pulled a 1.4 billion won, or 1 million US dollar operating profit from that. But then on the flip side, you have Google staring down a $460 billion cloud backlog.
That number is just insane. That's, what, 23 times their current delivery capacity?
Yeah, 23 times. It's so bad, they're literally forced to lease SpaceX Compute for $920 million a month.
Wow.
I know, it sounds like renting a fleet of private jets because you ran out of delivery vans. And locally, Kakao's stock just halved. It dropped from the 60,000 won range down to the 30,000 won range because labor walkouts are delaying their 2026 AI pivot. Which brings me to this. If a behemoth like Google has a $460 billion backlog it can't fulfill, how is a 25-person startup like EFIL turning a profit while a local giant like Kakao stalls out?
Well, it really comes down to the mechanics of what they're actually trying to build. Kakao and Google are playing this massive platform scale game.
Right, the generalized AI that does everything for everyone.
Exactly. And doing that requires unbelievable amounts of compute, giant data centers, and just huge overhead. So when you hit an infrastructure bottleneck or, a labor dispute like Kakao, the whole machine just grinds to a halt.
So basically, Kakao is trying to build a sprawling mega mall while there's a global shortage of steel and concrete, whereas EFIL just built a highly profitable, specialized boutique.
That is the perfect way to visualize it. EFIL isn't trying to boil the ocean here. They built what we call a data mode around veterinary consultations.
Oh, so they don't need sprawling server farms to process billions of random internet queries.
Exactly. They just need enough compute to match pet symptoms to diseases, which costs a fraction of the price. They own specific proprietary data, and that protects them from competitors and allows a tiny team to operate incredibly efficiently.
So let me break down what this means for you. Earlier, we flagged Seoul's 20 trillion won manufacturing AI commitment that money flows through grants, test beds, and the National Growth Fund, not direct equity. So the funding gap for early-stage AI hardware and robotic startups hasn't closed yet. Founders building inspection robotics, energy storage AI, or manufacturing data tools now have a faster regulatory path and fresh test beds in Jeonbuk and Gyeongnam to prove products before going to market. But EFIL's bootstrapped profitability set against Kakao's stalled pivot is the more honest signal for capital allocation. Founders building defensible data moats are outperforming those waiting on platform-scale ambitions.
Yeah, which leaves us with a really fascinating test case to watch. EFIL is launching a private label pet food line later this year.
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah, it is the ultimate test of whether these incredibly strong specialized software models can successfully predict and drive physical product sales. Plus, you'll definitely want to keep a close eye on the National Growth Fund's co-investment terms rolling out this Q4 to see exactly how that massive pool of public capital actually hits the market.
That's today's AI PRISM, Founders. This episode was produced with AI assistance based on Seoul Economic Daily reporting and reviewed by a human editor. AI PRISM is a Juan Iferrayo award-winning series. We'll be back tomorrow.
You've been listening to AI PRISM from Seoul Economic Daily.